we're hearing that another team could be the Indiana Pacers. Now, the Indiana Pacers are interested in Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga. So, with that being said, if the Pacers are the new team, we've heard the Raptors have been discussing with the Golden State Warriors for Pascal Siakam. What could Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga lead to if you're the Warriors? Okay, who could the Warriors want from the Indiana Pacers if they're looking to get a power forward help like Pascal Siakam from the Raptors, and they're already discussing Jonathan Kuminga in a trade with him? So let's talk here, Indiana Pacers. If you're a Pacers fan or Warriors fan, who do you think will be traded in a Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins deal to Indiana? So Wiggins and Kuminga put together brings you just to $30 million. It's 30.3, we'll say 30.4, just under. And at 30.4, you hypothetically could bring in multiple players. I'm thinking right here, the dream scenario would be they be going for someone like Miles Turner. I don't think that's happening. I think it's a deal for Bruce Brown and or TJ McConnell, or a deal where you see a guy. I think they want established players. If it's not Bruce Brown, it has to be if they might want more shooting help. So could it be Buddy Hield, TJ McConnell, and somebody along the lines of, that's where you go down this roster. You're like, I don't think Jalen Smith and Jordan Nwora. So I think the only players of interest for the Golden State Warriors on the Indiana Pacers roster is Bruce Brown, Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, TJ McConnell. And a deal that revolves around Jonathan Kuminga and Mr. Andrew Wiggins is $30 million, and you can only take one of Bruce Brown, Miles Turner, Buddy Hield packaged with TJ McConnell. Only one of those guys could be packaged with TJ. That would be under the $30 million that you could. Now, if they want to bring in, let's say package Chris Paul, Andrew Wiggins, and Jonathan Kuminga, now that brings you to $60 million, and you could hypothetically trade for Bruce Brown, Miles Turner, and Buddy Hield, which would be the most insane trade I've ever seen. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys expect from this situation?
What's going on, guys? And we're hearing that the Indiana Pacers are a potential landing spot for Andrew Wiggins, and that we all knew that they really wanted OG Anunoby. Obviously, OG Anunoby ended up with the New York Knicks, and Andrew Wiggins is a guy who's 6'7". Before this season, he had a run with the Golden State Warriors, being like this 17, 18 points per game scorer, while being the guy who loves the challenge of guarding the opposing team's best offensive player. He's a great shot blocker. He's got freakish athletic, traits, and he's a guy that at times can look like an all-star, but then can disappear. He's making $24 million. Mark Stein of the Stein Line is reporting that the Pacers are interested in Andrew Wiggins. Now, we did hear Jake Fisher say this earlier in the week, and I was floating the idea that if the Pacers were to do this, first off, Andrew Wiggins has little to no trade value, and the deal is probably going to be centered around Buddy Hield, as the Pacers are rumored to want to move on from Buddy Hield's contract, and Buddy Hield's expiring, and he's making 18.6 in a trade. So they could really just do straight up Buddy Hield, maybe a second round pick. Warriors probably want a first, maybe a very heavily protected or a pick swap. And for Buddy Hield and a pick swap for Andrew Wiggins, what would you guys do? Or would you guys do like Andrew Wiggins and Corey Joseph, or Jordan Nwora and Buddy Hield, or maybe you salary dump somebody else? But I do think there's a few avenues that they could take to get themselves a player like Andrew Wiggins, who would work very well next to Tyrese Haliburton, Andrew Wiggins. You would assume then the starting lineup, Bruce Brown, Tyrese Haliburton, Bruce Brown, Andrew Wiggins, Miles Turner, and then the biggest question becomes, they have Obi Toppin, but would that be the power forward you want for the future? Or Aaron Nesmith goes there. Like, who would be their power forward for the extended time that if they were to do something like this? I think there's a few avenues that they can go ahead and figure out. But do you guys believe that Andrew Wiggins is somebody that they might go after? I know there was a lot of pushback in the video that I made the other week about this, and I don't think, if they can get Jonathan Kuminga in a deal, I don't think Kuminga would be part of it. It seems like they just want Wiggins because they can get him really cheap, and he could be a reclamation project again. But hey, they could get, again, his value is very limited from what we know. So in terms, they do have like nothing to lose. That's where I want to hear your guys' opinions. What would you guys do if you were the Indiana Pacers? And if you're the Golden State Warriors, what do you want? I think, again, Buddy Hield and like Jordan Nwora could like go a long way. Jordan Nwara's an NBA champion, ladies and gentlemen. People forget that. Won an NBA championship with the Milwaukee Bucks rookie season, I believe, was it? And he's a solid rebounder. He actually had a great stretch last year after he ended up there in that big old trade that made him land over there. He kind of was discarded, but that's where I want to hear your guys' opinions. If you were the Indiana Pacers, are you reluctant to give up much? And if you're the Warriors, how much do you want for Wiggins?